started, I wanted to show you guys a student who did a fantastic job yesterday. Can we all say, way to go, Samuel? Samuel, yesterday, he did a great job on his compare and contrast chart. He put his 3 other differences on the side and his similarities in the middle. One thing I was really proud of when it came to Samuel was the fact that he did 3 differences and 3 similarities that were different than the examples I gave in the video. Remember, my instructions were to come up with your own differences and your own similarities, not to just write down the same ones I had already done, because otherwise, that way you're not growing your brain. So he said the Sphinx waited in the riddle of the Sphinx, while in Ajapa story, Ajapa planned. In the riddle of the Sphinx asked the question. Well, in this story, Ajapa started the trick. In this story, the prince answers the question, while in this story, Ajapa told Hippopotamus it was a trick. So these are some similarities and some differences. And he said both of them had a trick, both of them had main characters, and they both had questions, which are all very true. Nice job, Samuel, recognizing those on your own. Hey guys, and welcome to another day of close reading. Today we're going to be answering some multiple choice questions based off the 2 texts that we read this week. We're going to use some learned strategies today in order to help us do that. We're also going to be responding to a short answer question by stating our claim and 2 pieces of evidence. So claim, evidence, evidence, just like you would practice with close reading in your classroom. So today you're going to be taking a quiz that looks like this. It's going to say myth and folktale questions, and it's going to have 2 multiple choice questions as well as a short answer question to respond to. So when we look at our multiple choice questions, we have gone over some different strategies that we can use. One strategy we can use is read the question and then answer how we would think about it in our brain without looking at any of the answers. And then see if an answer matches your thinking. Another strategy that we can use is when we eliminate answers that we know are not true. I'm going to teach you guys a new saying today. Well, this is when we can slash the trash. Repeat after me. Slash the trash. All right. So slash the trash just means that we cross out our answers that we know are wrong, and we keep our answers that we know are right, or that might be right. So if I look on my page here, what qualities help both Oedipus and Ajapa overcome a challenge? Now, I might need to go back and reread my stories in order to know this, or I might need to go back and reread my compare and contrast chart that I did yesterday. So we might need to go back and do that. Then I'm going to look at my answers, and I know that one answer is strength. So do they both use strength? Maybe, so I'll put an M here. Are they both honest? I don't really think the story talks about honesty, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really know if it talks about them being strong at all, because it talks a lot about like how the tortoise is small. So I'm going to slash the trash and slash the trash. So we've slashed 2 questions, or 2 answers. And now I have 2 left. So did they both use intelligence? I think they both did pretty intelligent things. And then were they both sneaky? Yeah. So now that I have 2 maybes, I'm going to think about which one best helped them overcome a challenge. Was it their intelligence or their sneakiness? You can go ahead and decide this and pick the best answer between those 2. Now that we've done that, we can apply one of our other strategies to do this one. Read the sentence from paragraph 2 of the riddle of the Sphinx. What does hurl mean as used in this sentence? Hearing the correct answer, the Sphinx shrieked in outrage and promptly hurled herself off the rock to her death. So we see hurled right here. What could this word hurled mean? Well, something that I like to do when there's a word and I don't know what it means is I replace the word with the words here and see if the sentence makes sense. So the Sphinx shrieked in outrage and promptly gave herself off the rock. Give up herself off the rock? That doesn't really make sense to me. So I'm going to slash the trash. And promptly threw herself off the rock to her death? Maybe. That seems like it makes sense. And promptly slid herself off the rock to her death? Maybe. Kind of makes sense. And promptly shout herself across the rock to her death? When I replace hurled with shout, that doesn't make sense. You wouldn't shout yourself off a rock. So now I'm going to think, which one makes the most sense here? She promptly threw herself off the rock to her death, or she promptly slid herself off the rock to her death. Which one makes the most sense? You go ahead and pick your answer. Pause here to pick if you have not already. And then the last thing that you guys are doing today is you are going to go in and type in your answer using claim evidence evidence. We've practiced this a lot in our classroom, so I know you guys can do a really good job. Our question today is, how are Oedipus and IJAPA similar? Give details from both stories to support your answer. Make sure you're writing a claim and providing 2 pieces of evidence. So, I gave you an example of some sentence starters that you can use. We always make sure that we write our claim and the 2 pieces of evidence. So I said Oedipus and IJAPA are similar because, and we'd fill in the blank with a reason that they're similar. Then I would want to go back in my story and reread to find 2 pieces of evidence that proved why I thought they were similar. Now, I know that our compare and contrast lesson from yesterday would probably help us answer this. So I'm going to show you guys how you can look at an old assignment in order to help you answer questions. All right, guys, so let's say that you want to go back and see your work from yesterday, but you don't know how right now, and you know that it would help you with your quiz. Here's what you're going to do if you ever need to find any of your old classwork. You can just click on these 9 little dots up in the upper right corner, and then you can click on Drive. So we'll click on Drive and let's see what happens. Once you get to your Google Drive, then you are going to click on Classroom. Then you'll click on your class. And here, you can see all the assignments that you have done and turned in from the classroom. Now, if I'm Watson, I might want to go to my Folktale versus Myth from yesterday and open it up so that I can see my work. Now, Watson can go back and either reread the story or look at his compare and contrast chart yesterday, just like you can as well. It would also help you look at the 2 different examples that I gave you in order to decide your answers. All right, I hope this helped you realize how you can find your assignments in order to help you in the future. All right, guys, make sure that you are working hard today on your quiz reading. I know that you can do an awesome job on those responses. Don't forget to slash the trash and also to make sure you use your claim evidence. Have a great day. Bye.